Dead Space is a horror game that released in 2008. They remade it in 2023. Is this how you do the introductions for these videos? You just state the obvious of what you're talking about and you try to be like some encyclopedia dickhead or something like that? Well, I'm not going to do that. But anyways, this is Cynic Michael. I'm here with a new review video. I haven't done one of these in a while. I haven't done a video in a while. I meant to put this out back in January, but I just haven't done that. Kind of behind on everything. And the theme of this video is that, you know, Dead Space is a year old. I'm a few months late on that. I'm always late with everything, but typically what you see on this channel is that you see me talk about a game, it's likely going to be between 6 months to a year after it comes out. Sometimes even 2 or 3 years. It's the way I operate around here. Not trying to compete with anybody. Not trying to get any views like that because, face it, I'm just a small channel anyway. Referring to the encyclopedia joke earlier, this game was developed by Motive Studios, the same studio that made Star Wars Squadrons. That's crazy, isn't it? They made Star Wars Squadrons, and the next thing you know, they're on Dead Space. You know, maybe they're remaking Dead Space 2. I would love that. Oh, wait. They're not remaking Dead Space 2. The geniuses at EA put them on the next Battlefield. Yeah, because that's what we want. We just need more studios on Battlefield. Another thing to note, I'm a new player in this series. I'm a new asshole. I'm not a veteran. I'm not an experienced player. I don't know everything about Dead Space. Dead Space Remake is pretty much my first exposure to this series. Since I finished the remake, I did start a playthrough on the original, and I'll probably talk about that at a later time when I get the chance. But as of now, I am a new player. I'm a new guy to this series. So when it comes to this video isn't really a, hey, remember this, remember that. This is what they did in the 2008 version, and this is what they did in the 2023 version. I mean, maybe to contradict myself a little bit, I'd probably bring that up maybe once or twice, but that's not really what this entire premise of the video is. This perspective is purely through my experience and what I think about the game as a new player. So, with all that talk about encyclopedias, new players, remakes, developers, screw all that. Let's talk about the game. Just to name some of the many positives about this game, the no loading screens. I feel like this game has very little loading screens, especially from the menu, from the last part where you played. You click where you left off and the game just takes you there instantly. Like, there's not a loading screen there. While we're kind of on the subject about loading screens, let's talk about seamless transitions from the cutscenes to the game. Most games, when there's like a you're going from the gameplay to the cutscene, it's like you could tell, and the cutscene's more cinematic than the actual gameplay, and it just feels disjointed. But in this game, it's like it will take control away from you, but it doesn't like do a loading screen. It doesn't do like some transition. Like, you're legit still in the game, and there's no high upgrade in the graphics. The graphics are still the same, so it just leads to more immersion. And speaking of immersion, the whole game is just nothing but immersion, and I love it for that. From the environment to the details to all the areas you're in, it's just top-notch quality. This whole game is nothing but immersion, from the enemies to the environment to the details to the sounds. Like, everything about this game is just immersive. Another reason why I find this game so immersive is the lack of a HUD. The less shit on my screen, the better. The more minimalism on the screen, the better. Like, your ammo counter is legit on your weapon. Anything else, you just figure out for yourself. And if you want a waypoint, well, you gotta click a button on your controller and your character do like a little animation on where you're going. But nothing is ever really on your screen, leading to a more, immersion feeling, appreciating the world you're in, the environment, the details, everything about the game. I think that's the thing that most developers need to take notes on, is that put less shit on your screen, because you guys are fucking artists, right? You want the player to pay attention to the canvas you created. And I feel the more shit you put on your screens, the more you take away from the canvas you created. You don't want to fucking go to an art museum and you're looking at a fucking painting and then there's just a bunch of red arrows on the painting. That just defeats the purpose of looking at the painting. I know you're not watching this because no one watches my videos, but if there happens to be anyone watching this, please put less shit on your screen. I'm telling you, I want to appreciate the world you created. Like, seriously, I want to appreciate everything that you created. I love the details. I love the small things that you guys put in there. That's why Motive is fucking awesome. That's why this game is fucking awesome. The lack of a fucking HUD. And if anyone who does watch my videos, if you see my Call of Duty Zombies videos, you know how much I fucking hate the modern COD Zombies HUD. So when you go from that to this, honestly a different game, to be honest, but it's night and day difference. And I would love that across the board, pretty much. The environment just speaks for yourself because you want to pay attention to the environment you're in. You want to pay attention to all the areas you're in, because if you don't, you're gonna miss something. There's almost story everywhere, like from the audio logs. You see like AI going crazy, running away, dying. So if you don't pay attention and smell the roses, you're really gonna miss it. It's ironic, a game called Dead Space, in an area where everything is fucking dead, just feels so alive. This world feels alive. Tons of baddies in this game, a lot of scary fucking enemies, a lot of scary enemies. My favorite, the piss babies, or the piss babies, where they shoot little things at you or whatever. I don't know, but they're little fucking piss babies. I'm showing it on the screen right now. They're just fucking piss babies, you know what I mean?
Kick the baby! Don't kick the baby. Kick the baby!
All the enemies, they're unique, they're intimidating. And speaking of baddies, you need weapons to take on these intimidating ass baddies. There's 7 weapons, I believe, in this game. You got the cutter, the assault, the lime, the force, contact, ripper, and flamethrower. The force gun is probably my favorite one. Kind of reminds me of the thunder gun in a way. So I just think it's personally a fun weapon to use. Something's always great about just fucking up those enemies like that. And then my other favorite is the flamethrower. Using the flamethrower in any game makes you feel like a badass. A video editor, which is me by the way, cue the War at War badass montage. On top of the fantastic weapons they use in this game, you have abilities like the Force from Star Wars. You can just grab objects. You can grab mop buckets. I fucked up an enemy with a mop bucket in this game, dude. You could also use their own body to fuck them up too. You could also pick up explosives. There's also side missions, which I don't feel like there's plenty of them. I think there's like, what, 5 side missions, and it's more or less just more story. And I think your reward is getting the highest security clearance. I really don't think there's anything of note or interesting to me. To me, the draw of doing the side missions in this game is just more story. So there's only like 7 weapons in this game, so I don't think you're gonna get like something extravagant, but I guess the security clearance helps out in a way or something, but I guess it's just more ammo and more upgrades or something. You also have New Game Plus, which is always a must in these type of games. More replayability, more reasons to play these single player experiences. I could start off super OP on the second playthrough, which is great because games that don't have New Game Plus is frustrating because you spend this entire game getting overpowered, and by the time you get overpowered, it's like in the last couple hours of the game. Now let's get on to the negatives. This is gonna be pretty short. The one thing I noticed about this game is that the last 2 chapters just feel kinda redundant. And what I mean by that is that you're just moving a marker from one location to another, which I get it story-wise and all that stuff, all that jazz. But I don't know, it just felt kind of redundant to move the marker, then you get held up by either a bridge not being connected or power not being on. It's still fun, it's still great, but it is what it is. I still think it's great, but I don't know, that those last 2 missions just kind of felt kind of like a drag in terms of the gameplay. So many quarantines.
Hazardous anomaly detected. Hazardous anomaly detected. Hazardous anomaly detected. Hazardous anomaly detected.
I don't know why I'm putting this in the negatives. It's more or less kind of like a running gag to me with the amount of quarantines. I got that sound effect ingrained into my brain now.
Hazardous anomaly detected.
Well, that's the end of the negatives. Kind of list those 2 as nitpicks if you want. Well, at the end of the day, the Dead Space Remake is a legendary remake. That sounds pretty redundant, just like the last 2 missions of the game. This game is great for the veterans of the series to replay the first one, and this remake is a fantastic way to introduce new people into the series, like me, for example. In the meantime, I'm gonna go play the original Dead Space, and I'm gonna go play Dead Space 2 and Dead Space 3, and catch up on what I missed out all those years ago. And then once I catch up, I'll be sure to make a video on it to give my Cynic Michael thoughts. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like, I would really appreciate it. And subscribe if you want to see more videos, yeah. Anyways, my name's Cynic Michael, and I just don't miss.